Hey friends, Bro here, and I'm here to talk about a common problem and a very difficult one I've encountered when I first started using an Oculus Rift S virtual reality headset, and it was audio problems. I would either have no audio or I would hear a static sound in my audio, and the static is extremely annoying. Having no audio is also no fun. So, quite often when you boot up your Oculus VR headset and when you open the Oculus app, you go to notifications and you might see um, a notification saying, for example, your headset got no audio, right? The very first thing to troubleshoot is to make sure that your system sound is actually going through your VR headset, right? Also, if you already started your game, chances are if you switch audio to your VR headset, the audio is actually not going to go through, so you might have to restart your game. That's something I learned the hard way. It's a bit annoying, but at least it's a quick shortcut. Another thing you can do to troubleshoot whether your audio is working even before launching a game is to right click on the audio bar and go to sound settings. From there, you would go to sound control panel, and here you see all of your devices, right? Um, the old school turn it on and off. So you locate your VR headset audio and you right click, disable it, right click, enable it, and after that, you right click and you test it. And it will play a test sound, and you guys should be able to hear it from my um, headset microphone right now. Let's give it a try. So it's a little beeping sound that actually tries to do a stereo of that ring, and this way you know the audio is working. Another thing you might encounter is, for example, your audio may not be, you may not hear party chat in game. So for that, it's actually a best idea to disable every other audio device on your system. So you right click on this and you disable it. I'll enable it back because that's my monitor's speakers. All right, so moving on from this to recording. Sometimes you might encounter microphone issues. It will either not work or not working for different reasons. So it may not be enabled. Just like here, make sure you set it as your default communication device. Um, Also, do make sure that your microphone is picking up at 100. For example, let's say our Oculus audio device is not working, right? Because I'm currently using my Logitech Pro X gaming headset. You would right click on the VR headset microphone, you would enable it, and then you would set it as a default device. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want it to mess up the video. And for now, we're going to disable it back on. All right, we got this, and after this, you would click apply and OK. So these are very straightforward ways to troubleshoot your VR. It takes about a minute once you get used to it, and it helped me out a ton to be able to troubleshoot it. But my biggest problem was not making sure that the headset audio is on. The biggest problem was that I heard a static, a really, really annoying sound that would totally ruin your game experience. You will not hear your game. You will see the visuals just like you're supposed to see them, but the static is just horrible. My first thoughts were that maybe um, the cable is loose on the headset. So I disassembled my headset and plugged the cord on the other end of the display port that goes right straight into the headset. Disconnecting it, connecting it back didn't do a trick. I tried making sure everything is not loose on the other end, plugging into the graphics card. That didn't help as well. I did try to make sure that in-game settings were also optimized, meaning that you actually pick your headset speakers as a default device, so on and so forth. That didn't help either. Something that really helped for me, first of all, um, what helped me is that you must check for updates on your graphics card. It's a must do for every new game you're playing. You just click on updates and you see if there's anything new. Looks like our drivers are up to date, so that's a check mark. Unfortunately, that didn't solve my problem either. What solved my problem is actually updating my BIOS driver and my motherboard drivers. So for this, I actually had to go to my motherboard support website and actually going through downloads of whatever I needed for BIOS and other things. When you update your BIOS, make sure you actually read all the instructions here, because sometimes you can't just jump into the newest update. You might actually have to update it to an older version and then to um, update the newest one. Just FYI, you will probably need a flash drive for your BIOS update. It's one of those awkward things where you have to be clicking F12 when you boot up your computer, and then you go to BIOS, you go to System, every BIOS is different, and then you do an update and it asks you to insert a flash drive. You actually feel like a hacker doing it. It's gonna make you look super nerdy when you do it in front of someone. There are a lot of good YouTube videos, which I'm probably going to link in the description below. Um, so as soon as I updated my BIOS and motherboard drivers, everything just was fixed. Looks like I was running on, let's say, whenever this thing came out, 2016, 2017 drivers, and I was like 2 years behind, and it actually helped me a lot. I didn't hear any static, and for ever since then, for a few good months, I don't have to do the sound settings test anymore. It almost always works. VR will crash. It's still new technology. It will crash. It will mess up. But um, updating your BIOS is probably most critical. And obviously, your motherboard drivers. And this is what I actually mean by motherboard drivers. Updating audio drivers, it's also a good idea. And just trying to see if there's anything else you could be behind on. You know, you could be running on 2018 drivers, but BIOS, updating your BIOS is extremely critical to having a really good connection. f- Um, and making sure that the audio and everything transmits properly into your speakers. So, um, another issue which I'm going to bring up, and it's super common. Don't be worried about running updates on Oculus. It's it generally doesn't mess anything up. I didn't have any audio connectivity issues. Um, Also, I didn't find any good use of doing the beta, signing up for the beta. Um, I really thought it could actually improve my audio, but beta, it was not something that helped me. Usually, if you do hear these static sounds, it doesn't mean your headset's defective. It generally means you do need to make sure all of your drivers are updated. Updating drivers is a key to success, guys. Hopefully, you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all take care. I'll see you later.